For years, they disappeared quietly. Young women, living alone, often overlooked. In the city of Riverton, their absence barely caused a ripple. No headlines, no urgent warnings, just unanswered calls and empty rooms left behind. What no one realized was that someone had been watching, choosing victims he believed no one would fight for. He was careful, he was patient, and for years he remained invisible until one tracked digital item refused to stay silent. Riverton was a bustling metropolitan city with crowded streets, office towers, and quiet residential neighborhoods. Millions passed through each day, focused on work, errands, and life. The first disappearance seemed ordinary. A young woman failed to return from work. Her phone went unanswered. Her apartment was locked. Friends assumed she needed space. Employers assumed she had moved on. Weeks later, another young woman vanished. Then another. Different neighborhoods, different backgrounds. But they shared one thing in common. They lived quietly, without strong support systems. Their cases were filed, then forgotten. The man responsible, Ethan Caldwell, stayed hidden by being ordinary. He carefully chose victims who lived alone or went unnoticed. He studied routines and struck when no one was watching. Neighbors and co-workers saw nothing unusual. With no early digital clues and no witnesses, he remained free for years. Detectives only noticed a pattern after several disappearances across Riverton. Each disappearance sat in a separate file, handled by different officers and departments. No witnesses, no shared evidence, no clear suspect. Jurisdictional lines slowed progress. Suspicion alone could not make an arrest. Investigators were chasing shadows. Everything changed on Monday, October 12, 2025, at 7:45 p.m., when Emily Harper, 24, went missing in downtown Riverton. Emily always wore her smartwatch, synced to her phone. After she disappeared, the device kept transmitting location data. By 7:55 p.m., the digital signal showed her in a quiet alley behind Harrison Street and 8th Avenue, an area where she was not expected to be. Analysts immediately flagged the pattern. This was the first time investigators had a live digital lead, a trail that could finally lead to the person responsible. Investigators followed the signal in real time. By 8:10 p.m., they identified a man moving toward Emily, Ethan Caldwell. He was carrying items consistent with previous attacks. Police moved in carefully, tracking him and confirming the victim's location through her smartwatch. At 8:17 p.m., officers arrived at the alley, witnessing Ethan Caldwell attempting to assault Emily Harper. He was immediately apprehended on the spot. The smartwatch had silently recorded every step, providing clear evidence of his actions. The arrest was swift. No public spectacle. No escape. Ethan Caldwell's confidence collapsed when confronted with the digital evidence. The device had tracked him from the moment he approached Emily, capturing patterns and movements that matched previous crimes. There was no need for confession. The evidence spoke clearly. In court, the data replaced doubt. Years of unanswered questions finally had answers. Ethan Caldwell was convicted, and justice was served. This story is not about the killer. It is about the lives that were almost erased. It is a reminder that vulnerability should never mean invisibility. Digital safety tool location sharing, emergency tracking, connected devices can save lives when used responsibly. Sometimes, protection comes from the smallest signal. This story is fictional and created solely for educational and awareness purposes. Any resemblance to real people, cases, or events is purely coincidental. Its purpose is to highlight the importance of digital safety, awareness, and protection, especially for those who may be overlooked. Thank you for watching.